Okay, so on Twitch it says I'm offline, but I'm not really sure what is going on here. And it still says it's connected. Okay, I think I should be back. I don't know what's going on, what was going on. Maybe like a dump, a dump down. Sorry about this. I don't really know what's going on. This is kind of weird because I was streaming all the time in 1080p with 60 frames and I never had problems. And then I dumped down. I mean, we were like online for 1 hour 50, so it could be easily some kind of something in our in my internet connection right here. So I'm not really sure what is going on or what was going on. Maybe there was just like a disconnect. Yeah, so it's starting like a second stream. Yeah, thank you, Telecom. You just ruined my stream. Let me just quickly checking the modem. But this is funny. So I had this stream 1080p, 60 frames, fluent as shit, worked all the time, worked without problems. Yeah, it's 2 streams in a day. This is my little surprise. Yeah, all the statistics are ruined now. Well, I think it was probably happening at one day or the other. But I'm really curious if this was happening because I did these tweaks, but I felt doing these tweaks because I think yeah, you're spoiled by the great, but I think the quality is still okay. So just as a question, to be curious, did you have any dropouts before, or if you have any interruptions on Twitch, especially on Twitch? So I'm just checking the quality here because it seems really nice. I also see like I have a sweaty plate up here. No, it happened for many people right now. In fact, it even, just put my entire my entire stream offline. I'm not really sure. I think it was just like a disconnect happening here with a telecom or some kind of a provider, service box or whatever. I mean, it didn't happen. It didn't happen for like a few months. Now I'm changing these settings to 30 frames and to also set it down to like, I think I set it down to like 3500 kbit. And before I was streaming at like 8000. And it's kind of amazing that I never had problems. So if this happens again, I set it up because there will always be people around that having problems with streaming. And especially, of course, I understand that people have problems with streaming from a cell phone, from a mobile phone. Oh, you're from Mannheim? Yeah, in Hamburg it's hot like crazy. And the thing is, I just have to close the door because the last time when I was playing Warzone and I was talking to my girlfriend and she was sitting next to me. Well, this is actually a thing of possibility. You can't play Warzone when your girl is talking to you. And I put it in another way. If you want to fully pay attention to your girlfriend, you can't play Warzone. But she was quickly telling me something, and I was just saying, yeah, if I just finish that round. And there was, anyway, what I'm trying to say is that at that moment, somebody from the street called over, is like, hey, and I was turning around, and some boy passed. And he just, because I'm living on the ground floor and had my, how do you say, like the terrace, like the full door, I had it open, just like a small balcony on the ground floor. I know it sounds crazy, but so there was this boy driving, passing by my window, passing by the balcony, and he was just great setup, you got there. You know, he's just shouting inside my apartment. So I just want to be distracted by that. So I always have to close the window. Yeah, short story, long story short. So yes, it's hot here, but I have to, close the window. I will really investigate later what this dump was. But I think you get the idea about the library. I'm kind of happy that it happened towards the end. So we can check out some more articulations here. So let me just, you heard the entire libraries. It's not, I just want to dump it down and saying it's, it's like all strings. Go and figure out yourself. But let's just finish these. Let's just finish these articulations here. Paganini run. This is what I used. This sounds very realistic. So if you just... So if you are looking for something to spice up your cello legato lines, putting this on top will probably rule the shit out of your track. Hey DJ Adam, you mean the track? Yes, I will play it after we just had a listen to the final articulations here. So we just have 7 left. So we have the same expressive. Then let's play some of these. Let's just hit some randomly. So this is so cool. So just in case if you missed this, the ornaments, you just hit these after you play the note, and then you can trigger what it says. So for example, let's trigger the rebow. So there's natural rebow happening, but also to vibrato. Oh, there's your Irish slide down. Dragon's music is gone, so I love this so much. Okay, so pastorale. So as I said in the very beginning, don't be confused, don't be like shocked when you open the instrument and you see that many key switches and articulations. You can easily pick one and play. And the ornaments basically change it completely, because we are used to having, for example, like a decrescendo sample and diminuendo or whatever, and then you play it and then it stops at some point, right? But if you have like these things, like getting, let me move up an octave here, to the whole tone thrill, for example. You can, where do you hear this articulation that you just play a note that starts with a vibrato later and then hops over to a halftone thrill? So this is so cool. Or to just have some tremolo going on and then with a soft ending. Or short crescendo, long crescendo. This is so cool. So this library is definitely, you know, putting a lot of, I mean, if you really have, doesn't matter if you just want to get some convincing quartet, which I kind of hope this is. I will play it again in a second. Or if you just want to layer it for your sections, this will definitely bring it all to life way more. Okay, so let me just, I'm just looking at the dropped frameometer, so it works fine now. I hope it was just, you know, the telecom messing up things. I will keep an eye of these settings, but I think it's like as long as we're not streaming games, 30 frames are absolutely okay, and I don't need like that full bandwidth. So, but let's see how it goes. If not, I will just switch back to it. So let's just listen. Somebody mentioned I didn't paint a starship today. So, but I actually did. It looks like it looks like even more mighty than anything I have painted before. Actually, I have not written any song. I just painted. I just tried to paint that starfighter, that, you know, that Star Destroyer. But it ended up as an quartet. So let me just play you the track for you guys again. Yep. So I think I will put that session, the entire section, and the entire session, and that, and the MIDIs and everything I put on my Patreon account. So maybe just render the individual stems, or maybe the entire track, because it's just like, well, just maybe stems, and then upload it to my Patreon account, just in case if you're interested. Okay. Yeah. DJ Adam, you said up there it's like 1.6 gigs for all articulations loaded. I didn't check this. Yes, so it's like 1.5 roughly for the violin. So I have 2 violins loaded. I have 1 viola. Yeah, 1.4. And for the cello, it's roughly like 1.7. And then I used another cello for the bass notes. So I simply used another cello patch, but, you know, tuned down an octave. So yes, this is all what it is. So if you have like an entire realistic sounding quartet, a quintet set up with, I can't calculate right now, so maybe like 6 or 7 gigabytes. No, there is actually not a shortage of round robins, Sam. I mean, of course, it's probably not like 25 something. But let me just load the violin again and just hit the Picado samples. So I can... I think it's 7. So I'm thinking like the pattern repeats at like 7, but this is just one spiccato articulation. So if you just change to the Paganini staccato, so it's 8, I think. So imagine how many, or asking differently, when you have a string library and you have like spiccato or staccato samples, and even if you have like 16 round robin samples, you have so much stuff in here, like this spiccato, you have the Paganini spiccato, you have the Paganini runs. So combining all that, even this would be like 8 times 3. Maybe we have some short stuff going in here, going on. We have the very fast spiccato. So you get like let's say like 4 times 8. So you get like 32 round robin samples already. So I think they didn't save some time on round robin samples, especially not for the short notes. It could happen on the long notes, but then again, especially if you want to have re-triggers, you got these rebow things going on. So what this was the rebow key. So you at least, even if you just try to fake the rebows, you have 2. So this already makes like 3 samples. For the rebowing. So as soon as I can hear it, there is definitely not a shortage on. I think why this is so resource friendly is probably because they came up with this great solution of transitioning from one articulation to another without a problem at all. Mr. Nobody, of course you can ask. You just need to write it so I can read it and take care about it. But of course you can ask everything. Yes, but so you think the context scripting can use a lot of RAM too? This is why you stopped using Berlin multi-patches? Is it really that intensive? Why? What happened? Maybe I can just imagine that it happened that you have performance problems because of voice dump downs. Could this be? Ethan, yes, I mean, as I said before, you can simply check. Let's do something else. Let's go to that straight program here. And you can program this, change it not just to a rebow. You can introduce a fall also. So by pressing that key while you're playing the note. And you can play it a rise with the F sharp. Or you can go to crescendo with C. Is it? We have C6 here. Wait, changing the octave again. No, I'm not on C. Oh, here. So you're not just changing the note to something. You change it to crescendo, and then you can also change it to short crescendo. Or to soft ending. So this is the cool thing. You can change everything to something else, and it completely doesn't matter. Okay, you have a biodynamic DT700 Pro 80. I'm not recording externally. Do I need audio interface? Because I just need amp for my headphone. I don't, well, okay, so you don't have an audio interface at all. So I would, suggest that if you work, or if you try to do some audio work in general, you just get a sound device and not just use the internal kind of Sound Blaster chip or whatever is on there. So I would definitely try to get an audio interface. Ethan, I'm so sorry. Stop making me wanting to buy libraries. Yeah, I know. It's kind of tricky. It's really tricky. That's why I always, as kind of like let's say a psychological compensation for myself, I'm just trying to have at least like a giveaway going when I'm presenting a library, to at least take a little bit of that, burden from myself to basically create a whole generation of broke people. Yeah, the kids don't need to eat. They never need to eat. It's okay if you just go to the bakery once a week and just get some hard, bread and have some water and put them in the basement. That's totally fine. I can totally understand. Let me just quickly change back to the chat mode here. So it seems like no dropped frames. It's kind of hard that the entire stream stopped because I didn't hit any key or anything that caused the entire stream to stop. So I'm really curious about what happened here. But I probably think it was just like an internet, like a dive down. They always doing, if you're from Hamburg, they are always doing construction stuff. So I wouldn't be surprised if they just hit like a cable, even though it happens very rarely. But yes, I posted the link and caused the stream to stop. Maybe I hit like double enter or something and quickly stopped the stream or something. No, but I don't know. At this point, I think I have to do a little bit of, of self-promotion going on. No, I'm just guessing here. I'm German. I try to analyze all these things. What happened, that this caused lost image? Did something happen again? No, it seems like we're still on air. So I just want to have a little bit of doing like we spent like good 2 hours on the library, and so if you're curious, again, I'm just maybe posting that. Let's see if this caused the bug, but no, I don't think so. So let me just send this with a mouse by hitting that little. So yeah, at this point, I just wanted to do, you can also test something if you want, because, whoops, I'm not opening the Windows Store here. Just pull up this window. So actually just in case if you're not aware, I just do a little bit of self-promotion at this point, because I just want to end this stream for the strings and talk a little bit about something else. We could talk a little bit about something else. So the first one would be, I just reworked and the first, testimonials were coming in. So I reworked the entire landing page of my little course. So if you are up for learning, some stuff about how to promote yourself, how to build your brand. So this is my little shameless promotion, 3 minutes of this stream. You're welcome to check this out. And also, if you didn't get already, I also built a new landing page. I hope it works all right. You can download some free samples, not samples, a free MIDI pack. And this has been optimized for, I think the Adventure Strings has been optimized with Nucleus. So you can download a free pack or even get like the full package if you want. And there is also something that I wanted to quickly introduce to you guys. I developed Raging Strings. And hey, Barbie, how are you? I developed Raging Strings, and what is happening here is that I didn't do a video so far about this, so I just wanted to give you a little bit of a demonstration. So we are right now in Cubase, so I prepared these MIDI loops also to be able to load directly from Cubase. All you have to do is install this folder into, if you move up, you can also see that there's something new coming up soon. It's called Heroic Rhythms, but more to that later. So if you open the media bay, this is the media bay window, but I just reduced it to a minimum to not get confused by all these thousands of windows and things going on. And when you just click on the MIDI loops, you get access to this folder here. So let me just open Raging Strings and just go to the full arrangements. So you see that there is a lot of a bunch of arrangements here. So if I just load one, let's say like this full arrangement 12, and put it on an empty track, Cubase crashes. No, it just loads this loop. But what's also happening is that it just doesn't load this loop. It also loaded Albion 1, the Short's Picado patch. And if you just play it back, it's probably a little bit too fast. So maybe I just have to, let's ruin this demo here. Let's set this down to 90 or something. Yeah, epic score. I definitely have to agree. The place where you can see your samples and can't hear them. This is not the only thing that causes trouble with me. It's just like the entire media bay is trouble. You have so much stuff in there. And to be honest, this is what I don't want to get into any sequencer, DAW discussions, but this is where I really love Studio One. You just got instruments and you got effects, and they are always open. You don't need to pull out anything or reconfigure anything. It's always there. So let me just load another full arrangement here to another track. So it loads another instance and it sounds like this. So, yeah, we will have probably, yes, we will have our session tomorrow when we talk about Damage 2, when we have the Damage 2 live stream tomorrow happening. This week there will be 3 live streams happening, so 1 is happening right now. Tomorrow will be about Heaviosity Damage 2, and 3 will be happening on Wednesday. It will be the typical one, and we will write music on this. We will start our little Ender's Great Escape track. I love that. QS is like a really good printer. It's amazing to use, gives amazing quality, but it takes about 30 years to actually do anything. It's kind of crazy. What is really amazing when I, create these loops, because I have the, all these package adventure strings and Raging Strings, and also the new Heroic Rhythms. I can quickly, do you want to hear that? I can just quickly come up with something and load these Heroic Rhythms. So we got Heroic Rhythms, and then I open this. So this is the loop box. So you see how long it takes until it loads like the preset of this, like an old machine. It takes like 5 minutes to load. And what is even more weird, I can take one of these loops and drag it into the list. It gives me that. Do you see that here? You see that little stop button. Why am I not able to drag a MIDI loop into that window? It just doesn't work. And it's so cool in Studio One. You just drag all, 50 or 60 loops in there, and then you use a Windows renamer, like a little utility where you can rename the files, and do it all within 30 seconds. But I need probably around 1 or 2 hours to get this session done for Cubase. This is really crazy. So let me just load one of these heroic rhythms here. So this is what you can expect from the latest release. And this has been, you know, done, optimized for Armageddon Ensemble of Damage 1. And to be honest, I have kind of a special way, because if you listen to that patch, Sulbulk27, thank you so much for following. If you listen to that patch, you would probably think, I'm not really sure, but it could happen that you think, wow, it sounds much bigger than anything I have done in Damage before. So let me just play you that patch. So just raise the tempo a little bit. Let me load another one here on the same track. This one goes like this. So we are currently, I think, in 3/4. So this, why it looks a little bit funny. Yeah, we're in 3/4 right now. Tarek, thanks for following. Thank you so much. So what is happening here with that patch? If I just dive into this, I'm using a lot of layering within Damage. So I'm using like 3 times, where is it? 3 times the same drum. So I'm using this drum, and this. So I'm creating this. So this is how you can, you know, come up with some really majestic or heroic parts. So really love that. So if you're interested, stay tuned. I will release this probably, I'm not really sure when, probably tomorrow or Wednesday, depending on my workload. Yeah. Yeah, I totally, just reading, Ethan, your comment, like your PC doesn't like it when you do anything in the background with a 25 gigs template. So you probably have like 32 gigabytes or something. Yeah, this could definitely be a little bit of a problem. So let me just read if I missed something. Well, I don't want to talk bad of Cubase because, you know, doing video stuff is still superior. And if you just want to have like show data, you know, all these visibility agents you can use, but just showing tracks, you know, just showing you the tracks you're working on currently with data, or, you know, if you just want to see the track where your locator is right now, you can just show it. It just shows you all of the data of your tracks that are currently, you know, in the range of the locator. So there's some really cool stuff going on. So there are a few things that Studio One has to keep up with, but the entire workflow of being able to work with drag and drop is just, you know, it's the game changer for me. And to be honest, I have the feeling a little bit that Steinberg wants to copy the Studio One guys a little bit, because they came up with that sidebar, which is just terrible. I'm sorry. I know I repeat myself because I mentioned it last stream, but if you want to do something, you go to, like, you know, presets, track presets, VST instruments, and then I'm going wrong. So I'm not really at this place where I wanted to be. I just wanted to go to track presets, VST instruments. No. Oh. I just have to close my laptop. the screen went off. It looked like there was another disconnect happening on on Twitch on the live stream. So does it still also work on YouTube? Right. So I totally forgot to check this. Is it presets? Track presets? VST instruments? No, see, this is the funny thing, because I put in that list, Mindblower, thanks for following. I put in that list, I just put my instruments. Now I got all this stuff in here. Dream Engine. I'm not really sure where this is coming from. Banjo arpeggio. So I absolutely don't understand this. What is going? It seems like it's changing every day, and I don't need this view at all. So I just reconfigured my media bay like this, so I can see at least a little bit of stuff. So what I actually wanted to have was user content, track presets, instruments. See, this is what I want to see. Only the stuff I put so far into it. I can just do it with a media bay, not with this sidebar. So it's really funny. Come on, let's just go back to the MIDI loops. Let's just load one of these heroic rhythms in here. No, let's take one of these raging strings again. So I got also like moving rhythms. Let's load one of these here. So these are more like utility tools that you can have something. You can also have bass lines. So let's load like the 7. I mean, of course, as I said before, I don't, try to create your music, but sometimes we just have it that you have like this little deadline going on, or this hardcore deadline, and you just try to come up with some new music, and you, instead of just worrying about getting some decent string, staccato ensemble or spiccato ensemble going on, you can just drag in some MIDI loops. The other reason may be that you just want to use it for educational purpose, that you just want to check it out. And the other reason could be that you just, want to be inspired, the same as we are inspired when we load loops of whatever. So that's the little bit of a, my shameless self-promotion. Let's just load one more of the heroic rhythms here. This is really cool that I also have some groove constructor going on. So you can let's load a low patch down here. Then let's load one of the mid. Let's use this patch for mid. And one of the high ones here, the 4th. And let's play this together, and it sounds like this. So this is like 4-bar loops, so see it more as essentials. So you can put these, and then you can just do whatever you want and just copy them. So you can easily come up with setting up something like this and just copy, just change the very last. So you can combine these and just change the very last of here. So if you find that useful, I will let you guys know once I release this. And yes, so that's it for this. And tomorrow, I can do it like with a little teaser. Should we tease this a little bit? But just a little bit. Kim, you can combine the string MIDI loops, of course. And even if they are not in the same key, or if you think you want a key change happening at some point, the simple thing you do is just marking, selecting all of these loops and just, pitch them or transpose them as you want. You just want to make sure, you want to be careful if I used something that features the very low C and maybe the very high C, that if you just change it a half step down, that the nucleus strings and also the Spitfire Albion 1 strings, the ensemble patches don't have a B in there, or a B flat or something. So you may run into a little bit of a problem. Yes, Killstroms. Hey, this is what I try to say. I usually come up with my own stuff too. I hardly even use loops, and if I use loops, I try to, just put them somewhere, just bury them in the background. But if I would have started, and so this is at this point of what I'm trying to say, it's more a little bit focused towards people who wanted to, learn more about music. I would have loved to have like MIDI loops like this, because let's say if there would be someone providing MIDI loops of John Williams tracks, I mean like really great MIDI loops, not that stuff you get, out on the internet, like, there's some, and then they played it all with a, like on the piano and just layered it on top and think this is good MIDIs. If there would be something like somebody, doing the Star Wars main theme or whatever with BBC orchestra, or with all, for example, the Hollywood libraries, the Hollywood Orchestra by East West, this would have been gold. If I would have a patch like this and just checking, or a session like this and checking out all that stuff, this would have been awesome. Oh, DJ Adam, you're just wondering if a DAW snatches a feature from another DAW, do they get in trouble? I think this is highly unlikely, because at some point you don't even know what the intention was to introduce something like this. I mean, if a company introduces a new feature, they do it probably because the program could improve by implementing it. But yeah, I mean, sometimes it's a little bit very obvious when it was most obvious when, like, let's say, like an Android phone had like this drop down menu, and seeing all the new notifications back then, it was happening for 2 and 3 years. And then Apple came along and said, we have something groundbreaking. Now you can see all your notifications on top. And everybody was like, really? You announced that as some kind of a big thing? So, yeah, but I think they copy all over each other. I think, Studio One, the PreSonus guys made a very huge jump by introducing that copy and paste method. And the thing is, I would love to, not just Cubase trying to, I don't want to spread false information. I don't want to say that Cubase did this on purpose, but it's very close. The same like with Logic. Logic always had like, and later then Studio One had the top view, the arranger view, and then you have suddenly Cubase, and I think I can't open it like this, because if I hit Alt and F3, I do something with my graphic card. Oh, right. Yeah, you can do this. It was like a separate window before. But you can also have your mix console here. And I thought, wow, this is absolutely awesome. Now I can have my mix console right in the session window. And then I said, okay, but where are the effects? And then I found out, okay, you have to move to this. And then I was like, where are my faders? And then you have the sends here. But I'm not really sure if it's like my brain working like this. But if I want to see the sends, I also want to see what is it doing. The inserts. And I'm fiddling around with a compressor. I want to see what's happening with the dynamics. The what it does to the actual instrument. So you can just see this separately. And I don't understand why they did this, because if you want to see both, you have to open the mixer again. But this is like this floating window, and you can't even say on top. So if you quickly want to change a note and go to the background, the entire mixer disappears. But hey, to have a mixer that does not disappear, you can have this console. But I want to see my faders and the inserts. Then you open this mixer and you know how is it going? It's like this circle of evil, kind of. It's like crazy. I don't understand why they introduced this. I really love it that you can have the, you know, that you have the arrangement window on top and this below. I really love this, that it works like implemented and you don't have this, have 100 windows floating around on your screen. This is kind of... Hey Tarek, how are you? I was just rethinking, you know, that I know that you had a kind of a bad time with COVID-19, but now you're back. I'm so happy to see you. Let's have a chat soon, definitely. Because I still feel bad that I didn't get back to you, you know, that I had a Skype. So I think I have to tell this because I have Skype closed in the background, and Tarek just sent me a very nice video, and I was completely touched because like I didn't need Skype all the time, and then I suddenly opened it like a month later, and I see his video he sent me, and I was like, fuck, I feel so bad, you know. Oh, press Control on inserts to the left side. Oh, you want to tell me that it's possible? No, you just see one thing. Oh, I just thought you want to tell me that you can see both. Don't say this. I feel so bad. So, I just have to. There she is, country music lady. Do you have any Guiado? Yeah, just drop by my place. I definitely prepared Guiado for you. You just need to come by. So, just reading anything of these patches of the chat. You can see them both to the left. I still probably I'm not really sure if I understand. But maybe I'm too. Can you change something here? Okay, so I'm clicking on my arrangement window. So this is my arrangement window. So I'm not really sure. So maybe to the left now. Here? Oh, you mean, and then I can go to the so maybe the fader or something? Okay, you mean that I can see the faders here and the plugins and everything happens, the audio inserts. Yes, but I feel like I would love to see it all like this mixer, you know? And I don't understand why you have to have this mixer and the inserts on top. If it would be so awesome if you have the mixer implemented into, because if you work with a 4K monitor or something, then you could see like the entire you know, the entire mixer implemented into the arrangement window. Control click. I think I don't get it. Audio, yes. Oh, this is what you mean. So I can see both here for each of the channels. Right, that makes sense. That's what you were trying to say. So I can, because if I would just, okay, now I get it. It would just mean one window. I can do like this, and then you see it all. I get it. Why don't you just say that I have to go to the inspector and click both of the No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, but that makes sense. But I would love to see it all, you know, happening in the in the attached on this attached mixer. I'm not really sure why this is not possible. So let me just quickly tease. Tomorrow's stream. I'm just wondering because it seems like I closed this. I closed this track because I loaded a new track here. Let's load something to just tease this for tomorrow's stream. Isn't that awesome? I think that sounds pretty awesome, man. I can't wait for tomorrow. Yeah, it's Avicii never dies. You're right. Thanks for following me. Thank you so much. I'm really happy. I'm really looking forward. So, as I said before, we will have this. I can just, you know, fuck it. I can just remember the last time I wasn't able to find the BBC, you know, the Spitfire player, because it lives under synth. And you just have to, and it's a synth, and then it's called BBC Symphonic Orchestra. I thought it's like something happening with Spitfire player or something, you know? So I can't wait for this. So we will just come up with something, you know, on Wednesday. Actually, let's do something since we're at it. Let me just load the legato patch from the first violins. And let's put this on the side and just layer it with a violin. Oh, I want to do that the entire evening. So let me just delicate vibrato. So let me just check timbre. Okay. So let's layer this for a second. Just do a little bit of... Wait, what? Oh, this is the master bus. Oh, here we are. Man, this sounds amazing. I love layering so much. I love this so much. So again, I'm just posting the little giveaway again, just in case if somebody dropped in, so you can. And now the stream drops down again. Man, I'm so sorry. So we got like 2 streams going on right now, right? If I just check Twitch, I have to make sure that I just mute my audio. So I can't see it right now. So we probably have like 2 videos. Hopefully not. I can't, why I can't see this right now? Because I'm still live. Stream chat. I can't go to the video section right now. Yeah, it says 55 minutes. So we have like probably part 1 and part 2. Yes. Yeah, it's kind of strange because the stream dipped down, so there was probably like a disconnect, internet disconnect happening on my side. Something on the street, something on a service box or whatever. I don't know. Maybe just like, I mean, it like happens once in a month. You have like the telecom or whatever service just disconnecting it, and you don't know what it is, and you just try to check everything, but then it was simply like a drop down of the DSL connection. Okay, guys, we are already almost at 3 hours again. So I would say we dedicate the stream tomorrow for just Damage 2, and we just explore the entire library and what you can also do with it. What happened right now? Sorry. Yeah, let's layer some taikos with. Let's layer some taikos with violins. Sternschanze Internet. Just admit, you just Googled someplace in Hamburg. No, actually, I'm not living in... But I wouldn't be surprised if somebody would take down, take down some internet here in Hamburg, if they occupied some kind of a service box. Yes, Junk XL and Damage 2 is definitely a dream team. So I'd be curious. Oh, hey, Gas, how to see you? Good to see you. You don't know what to buy, Devastator or Damage 2? I sell your kidney and get both. This is seriously my... because you can't really... I know it's hard, I mean, to compare these two. Because, Devastator is totally aimed towards this really big smashing trailer hits. And they build like these ensemble patches, these round robin hits out of trailer hits. So basically, you can't get anything bigger than this. But then again, it's also a matter of volume, Ximriel, thank you for following. Oh, I think I also skipped Mindblower. Thank you for following. Why did I skip so many people? I'm just seeing that right now. Introspect. Thank you for following too. I think I totally skipped you guys. I'm totally sorry. Yes, better sell 2 kidneys. Performance percussion. We will We will definitely take a look at this. I already know this. And yeah, I mean, yeah, Ferrum also sounds really great. I mean, there is so much stuff going on. I mean, it's like these moments that you have to decide between something you need and something you want, and just get this stuff you need for your jobs. And then as soon as there's money, or, I mean, it's a shame that kidneys don't regrow, right? You could just make some more money, get some more money out of this. Ximriel, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Well, I think Morty, hey, I think he was just saying orchestral tools would be awesome if they would release Junk XL percussion. That would also be a dream come true, because... But, I mean, Damage 2 is like... When I heard... I have to tell a funny story, because typically when I, after a session or after working I have a round of Warzone, and I just need to, turn down the volume because of the weapons so well recorded. You just need to turn it down a little bit to not damage your ears. Haha, pun intended. So the funny thing is, when I just got the library and I tested the first patch, and I was like, wow, that sounds awesome. It's a little bit, decent when it comes to impact, but it still sounded awesome. And then I turned around and I realized on the next morning that I didn't raise the volume. And I mean, if I'm not really sure what you see there, if it's like dB, I have to turn it down to minus 37 dB something to have not, like the game audio of Warzone ruining my ears. So I was playing actually the Damage 2 samples on minus 37 dB. And what I typically work with is something around minus 20 dB from the sound card settings. Sometimes minus 15, most of the time like minus 25. Right now I got it on... Oh, I got it on minus 37 too, but I'm not really sure if it's like dB. But what I try to say is that I just had to dial up the entire library. Oh, right, I know why it is so dark, so quiet, because we are listening to the quartet to this demo. So it's you had some limiter going on, but then you have to really raise the volume because it wasn't just like an epic trailer track. So, but I'm still listening to it on 35 right now. But that morning, I pulled it up to like 20, and then I hit these keys, and I was just really blown away. And I just have to show one thing, and I promise we will get to that tomorrow. You see that left-right-hand stuff? So you can... Oh, sorry. Just switching the screens. You can just quickly go and say, you put it like this. Oh, sorry. Or just move it all the way to the back somewhere here. Or just move it here. So you can create your entire... Can I just mark both? No. But you can create your entire... Oh shit. Just messed this up. No, this. So. Okay, so you get the idea. So, but we will talk about this tomorrow. About this library specifically. Yeah, it's really great. It's really huge. It gets a little bit away from that, because I would be surprised if they come up with something which is more, with having more impact than Damage 1. Because if I just play one loop again, I created here with, my heroic rhythms thing. No, that's... I mean, you can't get more impact and more close ass-kicking sound as this. So I'm really happy to see that they entirely came up with something completely different that is... So expect some MIDI loops happening for this library too. Just something I've heard from the, the owner of that sample library store. Okay. So I would say I call it a day for tonight. And I hope you enjoyed this little... Let's listen to some classic at the very end. Let's listen to this track once again. And let me just actually post the giveaway link again. So even just in case somebody dropped in right now, that there's this giveaway still open. So let me just listen. Let's listen to that track again. That's awesome. I totally forgot the tempo. I think it was something like 140. I changed the tempo. Nigel, let me just quickly answer your question. You will laugh, but I think Cubase or I know that Cubase only works as it should when you have multiple monitors. Because I had a 4K monitor before, and it was just like a pain in the ass because you had your window was full, or your entire screen was full of windows. And if it was not possible to have like a mixer implemented, but only by doing it like this. But then you miss the inserts again and all that stuff. I don't want to go through that again. But yes, you have to have different monitors when you want to have the mixer on one screen. And this is why I find, Logic or Studio One or even Fruity Loops got an entire, FL Studio, I still say it, have a great way of dealing with how to set up all these windows. So I feel sometimes like this is just an assumption, don't get me wrong, but I think Cubase is stuck on some old kind of code and they are not willing, or they can't change, and they have to work within what's possible. Otherwise, I can't explain, because all the integration, the implementation of wanting to do something with being able to drag and drop, like you can do from, putting in MIDI loops into the session. Let me just quickly change. MIDI loops into the session, but you can't pick something and put it into that folder here. It's not possible. So I don't understand why there's this rudimentary workflow from making it possible. And as I said before, when I create my MIDI loops, I need like 3 minutes in Studio One to export these and rename them. But I need probably like an hour for 30 or 40 loops, or even more, like 50 loops for an hour for 50 loops, to create these in Cubase. Even when you just want to say something as a loop, I have this shortcut here, and you want to save it as a loop, you don't even see the track name or the file name in here that you can simply hit export. No, you have to type it or copy it, or, oh no, the window is already open. So you have to copy it before, then you move this window, and then you go in here and copy it in here, and then you hit OK. This is the only way how to export these loops. This is completely ridiculous. Yes, Ximreal, this is the only problem that Studio One has, the video engine. You can work with video if you have, a video you want to work on yourself, and you know that it starts from bar 1, and you don't need to do any presets or pre-cutting or offsets. That's what what did you want to say? You don't need some offsetting to putting it to another to another time, like a time position. Then it's totally fine to work with it. It works without problems. It's completely smooth. But if you work on, let's say for weeks, I'm currently working on a game trailer right now for a very, very big upcoming game. I can't say anything right now. I'm still working on this. And if you receive like new versions, they have like a second in front of it, or like 3 seconds missing, and then they have like the company's intro at the beginning. That's another 3 seconds, and another logo, and then you get like this video. You have like 8 seconds longer suddenly, and then they recut something somewhere, so you end up kind of offsetting that video track to your session, because you simply can't grab the file and just move it. I'm pretty sure that they will work on this, that it sooner or later it will happen. And you also have to see how old is Studio One and how old is Cubase, how big is the team behind Cubase, and how actually small is the team with Presonus working on Studio One. And I really have my highest admiration to the Studio One team, because they are completely, they're ripping their ass off basically by fixing all kinds of bugs. And sometimes it's a little bit unfair when you see like people, saying that the Presonus team, the Studio One team, doesn't care about bug fixing or anything. You just have to think about that. Even if you just have a bug that needs like 3 days to be fixed, and you have, I don't know exactly how many people working there, but if it's like an 8 or 10 people team, you need to make sure that 8 people have 3 days, you know, to make money and have to be paid for 3 days. So this is a thing to consider. Okay, I'm just reading again. Hey Shay, what do you mean? How do you make minus bar numbers? I think I don't minus bar numbers. I'm not really sure if I understand, but maybe explain it to me and I will get back to you. Yes, I remember I said kind of like goodbye 10 minutes ago, but it's getting interesting again. So we were, plus I talk too much. Or starts with bar -5. Yes, you can do this. Actually, I'm not really sure if I find it right away, but you have to go to project. I think it was project. And then you have, I didn't do this for a long time. Where is it? Set time code. No, not set time code at cursor. Yes, right. So you go to, for example, on bar 5, and then you hit like 0, and then you say okay, and then you say you have modified the time. Do you want to keep the project content as its time code position? Say no. And then, oh, it doesn't, it just does the negative time. Why does it do the negative bars? I think that was something else. I just know that it works for the timing, but actually you can say to bar speeds. No, it doesn't change. I don't know. But this should be, it's in the project setup, right? Because I think I just did that with time, because most of the time I want to exactly see the 0, you know, bar 0. So it's, let me just check this. Project setup. So what is the project setup? Oh, I think I have it on Shift and S. This is the project setup. Right. You can say, where is it? Display time offset. This is probably this one. -5 bars. And then you say, okay. You have money. Do you want to keep the project? No. Oh, I did it the other way. This is also funny about Cubase. When you do something, you can't change stuff like this. If I hit Control Z, just have to go back to the settings and say 5. I think this is how it works. Right. Now you got, thank you, Eve. So you got like this, got it 0.0 and it starts exactly at, so if you put in the time window, Workspace Studio, oh Jesus, I got so bad with Cubase. Where's my time thingy? Where's my time? Mommy. So can somebody tell me, where's this time display? Wasn't it always, seems like they change it, transport? I don't see it. Studio? I'm just totally helpless. Yeah, Tarek, by Mac and Logic. Thanks, I had this. As you can see, on Cubase again. This is also so funny, you know, everybody like with a Mac. Oh, just buy a Mac. You know, just work with your stuff. Just work. just don't care with all these Windows crashes. And then today, it's like Windows 10 users just work. They just work. And currently you see on Facebook, you see like, hey, does Logic 10.7 point whatever works with Snow Leopard Goose, Goosebump, Honeybee, 17, whatever. No, just stick to like one version before because they still have bugs to fix. And this just takes like 6 months or whatever. And then you see like all of these discussions. What version of Logic works best with what operating system? So it seems like as soon as you're updating your operating system on Mac, stuff stops working. And this never happens to Windows 10. Of course, some stuff will be discontinued. But for them, it's like their main digital audio workstation that doesn't work anymore. And of course it may work. Oh, I just thank you, Matthew. Studio more options time. Oh, they changed this because I remember they had it on Window or Works. No, they had it on Transport or somewhere. And they changed all these things. It's kind of funny. So you said Studio more options, right? And then you have time display. I'm not really sure why they did this. I remember also the MIDI devices manager was on the studio setup, on this entire studio panel here. So I'm not really sure why they put it into more options. So I got the time display right. Just change it to seconds and then your track starts. Let's listen to this once again. I'm not really sure if I'm too... Okay, so listen to this one more. Okay, so yeah, Tarek, there is no need to learn more Cubase because I will be transitioning to Studio One more and more because now with this little trick of having the tools to have like negative delay, this DMR or what is it called? I think I always confuse it with that sniper rifle in Warzone, but that company that just created this little plugin where you can set MIDI negative delay, minus or negative delay in general. Yeah, that helps a lot when using, performance samples, flute shorts or nucleus or Araya. So I will probably stick to Studio One for my workflow because it's way more intuitive and it doesn't feel like that clumsy. Okay, let me answer your question real quick because I think if you want to have a solo female voice with a Celtic vibe, you can either try Etheria Gold. Clara Sorache is the singer. I'm not really sure actually right now if there's some Celtic stuff on there, but there is also another library by Adio, and this was sung by Laurie N. Hawes. I hope I pronounced her name right. Her name right. I'm starting to sound like Daniel. Naim. No, you just Laurie N. House or Laurie N. Hawes is her name. And she's doing that Celtic vibe vocals. She was also the singer of I'm not really exactly sure which part of World of Warcraft she was singing, but I think she was focused on some, featured on some theme track. I don't remember which one, but she was singing for World of Warcraft. So if you hear the voice, you would probably become familiar with it. So she would probably be, you know, or you hire her as a singer, can do this too. Okay. So I think I would call it a day for tonight. And I will be back tomorrow here at 8 p.m. Central European Time. So in around 21 hours, we see hopefully each other again. And then we just keep exploring Damage 2 and try to do something with it, which will definitely be awesome. So thank you everyone for being here. Thank you for spending the evening with me. Thanks for your interest. And again, thanks to Best Service for making this all possible, for the feature on their web store, and giving me the opportunity to write a demo for this awesome, let's say all these string libraries. So thank you, take care, and I would say simply see you tomorrow. Have a great evening. Bye, guys.